जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जसोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन जसोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जसोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन जसोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vasabhutade Semate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayom Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivraja Kacharya Ashtotala Sata Sri Srimati Zvangres Esi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayom Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivraja Kacharya Ashtotala Sata Sri Srimati Zvangres Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Seko Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kungiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mayi Ki Jai Jamuna Mayi Ki Jai Srimati Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Madam Mohan Ki Jai Sri Sri Gaunitai Ki Jai Sri Sri Jagannath Subhadra Baladev Ki Jai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the Samalivatis, all glories to the Samalivatis, all glories to the Samalivatis, all glories to Sri Guru, Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vasabhutade, Semate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Prachadine, Nirvesesha Sunyavadi Paschata Desatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Skanda, 24th chapter, entitled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva, Sloka number 52. And it is a great sloka. Amongst all the slokas of this volume, Srila Prabhupada has chosen this sloka in the front of the book, at the first page of the book, just to show how important is this particular sloka. Pada, Sarat, Padma, Palasa, Rochisha, Naka, Dubhi, Naha, Anta Agam, Vidunvata Padashaya Swiyam Apasta Sadhvasam Param Guru Marga Guru Tamadjusham Pada Sarat Padma Pala Sarochisha Nakadjubinuntaragam Vidunvata Padashaya Swiyamapasta Sadhvasam Padam Guru Marga Gurustamojjusham Pada Sarat Padma Pala Sarochisha Nakadjubinuntaragam Vidunvata Padashaya Swiyamapasta Sadhvasam Padam Guru Marga Gurustamojjusham Pada Sarat Padma Pala Sarochisha Nakadjubinuntaragam Vidunvata Padashaya Swiyamapasta Sadhvasam Padam Guru Marga Gurustamojjusham Sri Sri Gaunitai ki jai, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Sri Sri Jagannath Subhadra Baladev ki jai. Pada, by the lotus feet, Sarat, Autumn, Padma, lotus flower, Palasa, petals, Rochisha, very pleasing, Naka, nails, Jubihi, by the effulgence, Naha, Avar, Anta Agam, dirty things, Vidunvata, which can cleanse, Pradashaya, just show, Swiyam, your own, Apasta, diminishing, Sadvasa, the trouble of the material world, Padam, lotus feet, Guru, O Supreme Spiritual Master, Marga, the path, Guru, Spiritual Master, Tamat Jusham, of the persons suffering in ignorance. Translation. My dear Lord, your two lotus feet are so beautiful that they appear like two blossoming petals of the lotus flower which grows during the autumn season. Indeed, the nails of your lotus feet emanate such a great effulgence that they immediately dissipate all the darkness in the heart of a conditioned soul. My dear Lord, kindly show me that form of yours, which always dissipates all kinds of darkness in the heart of a devotee. My dear Lord, you are the supreme spiritual master of everyone. Therefore, all conditioned souls covered with the darkness of ignorance can be enlightened by you as the spiritual master. Please repeat. My dear Lord, your two lotus feet are so beautiful that they appear like two blossoming petals of the lotus flower which grows during the autumn season. Indeed, the nails of your lotus feet emanate such a great effulgence that they immediately dissipate all the darkness in the heart of a conditioned soul. My dear Lord, kindly show me that form of yours which always dissipates all kinds of darkness in the heart of a devotee. My dear Lord, you are the supreme spiritual master of everyone. Therefore, all conditioned souls covered with the darkness of ignorance can be enlightened by you as the spiritual master. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Shiva has thus described the bodily features of the Lord authoritatively. Now he wants to see the lotus feet of the Lord. When a devotee wants to see the transcendental form of the Lord, he begins his meditation on the Lord's body by first looking at the feet of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the transcendental sound form of the Lord, and the 12 cantos are divided in accordance with the transcendental form of the Lord. The first and second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are called the two lotus feet of the Lord. It is therefore suggested by Lord Shiva that one should first try to see the lotus feet of the Lord. This also means that if one is serious about reading Srimad Bhagavatam, he must begin by seriously studying the first and second cantos. The beauty of the lotus feet of the Lord is compared to the petals of a lotus flower which grows in the autumn season. By nature's law, in autumn, the dirty or muddy waters of rivers and lakes become very clean. At that time, the lotus flowers growing in the lakes appear very bright and beautiful. The lotus flower itself is compared to the lotus feet of the Lord, and the petals are compared to the nails of the feet of the Lord. The nails of the feet of the Lord are very bright, as Brahma Samhita testifies. Ananda Chinmaya Sadujjvala Vigrahasya. Every limb of the transcendental body of the Lord is made of Ananda Chinmaya Sadujjvala. Thus, every limb is eternally bright. As sunshine dissipates the darkness of this material world, the effulgence emanating from the body of the Lord immediately dries up the darkness in the heart of the conditioned soul. In other words, everyone serious about understanding the transcendental science and seeing the transcendental form of the Lord must first of all attempt to see the lotus feet of the Lord by studying the first and second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. When one sees the lotus feet of the Lord, all kinds of doubts and fears within the heart are vanquished. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that in order to make spiritual progress, one must become fearless. Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhi. Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, 1st shloka. Fearfulness is the result of material involvement. It is also said in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th skanda, 2nd chapter, 37th shloka, Bhayam dvitiya binivesata syat. Fearfulness is a creation of the bodily conception of life. As long as one is absorbed in the thought that he is this material body, he is fearful. And as soon as one is freed from this material conception, he becomes Brahmabhuta, or self-realized, and immediately becomes fearless. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma, Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 54th shloka. Without being fearless, one cannot be joyful. The bhaktas, the devotees, are fearless and always joyful because they are constantly engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. It is also said, Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st skanda, 2nd chapter, 20th shloka. By practicing Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, one becomes fearless and joyful. Unless one becomes fearless and joyful, he cannot understand the science of God. Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. This verse refers to those who are completely liberated from the fearfulness of this material world. When one is so liberated, he can really understand the transcendental features of the form of the Lord. Lord Shiva therefore advises everyone to practice Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, as will be clear in the following verses. By doing so, one can become really liberated and enjoy spiritual bliss. It is also stated, Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Sarakaya Chakshurnanmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. The Lord is the Supreme Spiritual Master, and the bona fide representative of the Supreme Lord is also a spiritual master. The Lord from within enlightens the devotees by the effulgence of the nails of his lotus feet, and his representative, the spiritual master, enlightens from without. Only by thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord and always taking the spiritual master's advice can one advance in spiritual life and understand Vedic knowledge. Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata gurau tasyaite katita hyartaha prakasante mahatmanaha. Thus the Vedas, Svetashvatara Upanishad, 6th chapter, 23rd shloka, enjoin that for one who has unflinching faith in the lotus feet of the Lord, as well as in the spiritual master, the real import of Vedic knowledge can be revealed. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Sarakaya Chakshurnanmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavansya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vitansya. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneswari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This prayer spoken by Lord Shiva is given here as one of the many other slokas in glorification of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva is reciting these prayers for the benefit of the Prachetas so that they can meditate on these prayers toward the tapasya that they intend to do within the ocean. This is a very important sloka. I didn't know, I just came to see it. I was just going through this book from beginning, and I saw the same sloka here on the first page that indicates this is a very essential sloka from this fourth skanda of Srimad Bhagavatam. And from the purport of Srila Prabhupada, we can try to understand why this sloka spoken by Lord Shiva is revealing the very essential aspect of human perfection, what we are trying to achieve, perfection of human life. And this sloka is giving the essence of the method by which we can become perfect. Already Lord Shiva has described the various qualities of Lord Vishnu and the different parts of his body, who are all of them very beautiful and very attractive. But now, after describing the entire body from top to bottom, now he is expressing the view that actually I want to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord, that is from the bottom. Because the lotus feet of the Lord are so beautiful and so merciful that they can eradicate the darkness in the heart of a conditioned soul. And spiritual life must start from that point, to eradicate all the ignorance and material desires that are accumulated within the heart since many millions and countless lives that we had in this material world. So many impressions and material desires have accumulated. And by simply meditating or taking hold of the lotus feet of the Lord, one can become free from this ignorance. From that point, certainly, we can make further progress in spiritual life. Otherwise, it is not possible. This is the starting point and the most essential. Without surrendering, that means when we contemplate the lotus feet of the Lord, the idea is that now I want to surrender. And where to surrender? Surrender means to hold the lotus feet of the Lord and to tell the Lord, please give me shelter under your lotus feet. I have no other shelter. I've been here for countless years, wandering up and down the whole material universe, and I could not find any satisfaction. I've been up, I've been down, and there is no place where I can have peace of mind. So when we are fortunate enough to have the opportunity to see the lotus feet of the Lord by the grace of the spiritual master, then we should not leave that protection. Even Srila Prabhupada was once, I think that was in in New York City. He was in the temple hall. They had opened the curtains, deities giving darshan, and Srila Prabhupada was on the front taking darshan of the deities. And Srila Prabhupada was in a prayerful mood for a long time in front of the deities. And everybody could see Srila Prabhupada in this prayerful mood in front of the deities. Then, after the darshan was over, then one disciple came to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, for such a long time you were meditating on the deity. We are just curious to know, did you offer any prayer to the deity? What was your prayer? You seem to be completely immersed in this prayerful attitude. We would like to know, what prayer did you address to the deity? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, I prayed to the deity Lord Krishna. I prayed to the lotus feet of the Lord that I may not be, at any time, I may not be victim of Maya. That was the straight answer of Srila Prabhupada, without any duplicity. Prabhupada could have said, I'm your guru, why are you asking me this question? I'm your spiritual master, I know everything. Why you have any doubt? I'm praying for something. Srila Prabhupada was very straight and without duplicity. He answered this. And Prabhupada added that I know my American disciples, they are not afraid of Maya. They are not sufficiently afraid of Maya. That is the problem. Actually, this could be extended to everyone in the material world. We are not sufficiently afraid of Maya. Therefore, we are not inclined to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. That is the problem. But Srila Prabhupada, as the ideal spiritual master, he didn't want to make a show that, oh, like this, oh, wonderful, wonderful. No, he was in a prayerful attitude, in a very humble manner, praying to the lotus feet of the Lord, please save me from Maya. So this is the ideal spiritual master. As we are trying to pursue the path of spiritual life, we should take shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master, just like we are singing and reciting daily, offering to the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and other spiritual masters, that please give us the shade of your lotus feet. And who is the spiritual master? He is the one who has surrendered at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. That's why we are addressing Srila Prabhupada, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa. Why is he Paramahamsa? Because Vishnupada, he has taken shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. So he is he can be rightful called Paramahamsa, ideal, perfect spiritual master. So that is the very essential aspect of spiritual life. It means in a very humble attitude, taking shelter of the Supreme Spiritual Master, Lord Krishna, and starting from the representative of the Lord, the Spiritual Master, as Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, that Lord Krishna is dwelling in everyone's heart. And he is directing the wanderings of all the living entities throughout the material world. And he is in this way guiding as the Supreme Spiritual Master. Whatever desire we may have in the heart, Lord Krishna is giving us all the facilities. And especially for the devotees of the Lord, he is giving special direction so that they may be advanced in their spiritual life. That is a special mercy of the Lord. So from within, he is enlightening every one of us, giving us all help. He is the supreme friend. Bhoktaram Yagyatabhasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. He is the supreme friend of everyone. And in order to make friendship with the Lord, we have to surrender at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. This is the first step in spiritual life. In this way, we can make progress in spiritual life. Making progress means to get rid of all the unwanted dirt, as Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, the dirt that has accumulated. And that dirt is taking shape in the form of fearfulness and sadness. Nobody is really happy. Everybody is fearful. Srila Prabhupada, once he was giving lecture in Vrindavan, and in the temple hall there was one small bird that had come, and the small bird was trying to eat some prasadam from the floor. But the bird, small sparrow, he was very anxious, and he was looking left and right and behind and see if any danger is coming. He wants to eat the prasadam, but he is also very fearful. Anytime something may happen and he may kill me. That much fearfulness, the sparrow. Even in the temple hall, Prabhupada observed this behavior of the sparrow, and he was in this way explaining the behavior of a conditioned soul, always in a fearful condition, cannot find real happiness in a free manner, always anxious. What's going to happen next? And in this way, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master will give us the assurance of further progress in spiritual life. In my own life, I was traveling in India, then I came to Bihar near Darbhanga, and then I saw one mela, and on the door I entered into the mela. Then I saw on the left side, after about 30 yards on the left side, a pandal, and a kirtan was going on, Hare Krishna kirtan was going on. And these were the ISKCON disciples who had come from Calcutta. And they asked me, do you want to meet a sannyasi? I said, yeah, I can meet your sannyasi. I had no idea who is this sannyasi, but I said, okay, yeah, I can meet your sannyasi. So the small tent, and there was one bed, and reclining on the bed was Tamal Krishna Goswami. He was sick with fever. He was taking rest. But then he saw me at the entrance, and he told me, come in. And the first question he asked me, what is your goal in life? So I answered to this, my goal in life is to become fearless. Oh, very good, very good. Come and sit here. We can discuss about that. So I was fortunate enough in this manner to meet a great sannyasi at that time, just by Lord Krishna's mercy. Otherwise, why should I go to that place? I had no idea where I'm going. I was just traveling like this. And by Krishna's grace, I could meet the ISKCON disciples in this manner. So the Lord is supremely merciful, and the spiritual master is the representative of the Lord. In this way, we can achieve success in our human life. Then, Srila Prabhupada explains that the spiritual life is very joyfully performed because the lotus feet of the Lord will dissipate the darkness of ignorance, and in this way, by rendering service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, one can do it in a very joyful condition, without any anxiety whatsoever. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyaksha Bhagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that this Rajavidya, the king of all knowledge, knowledge of devotional service, bhakti yoga, is supreme, and it is Susukham Kartum Avyayam. It is eternal, and it is joyfully performed. Prabhupada quotes from the Bhagavatam, Evam Pasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. So in this way, from the very beginning, this devotional service to the Lord of Bhakti Yoga, that means taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and of the spiritual master, will free us from all types of anxieties. Now I've come to my destination. As Tamal Krishna Goswami was also telling me at that time, when I met him first of all, he was asking me, so what is your next plan? So I said, I'm going to travel. Now I may go to Burma, I may go to Thailand, and visiting many other places. So, but he told me at that time, now all your travels are over. All your travels are over. And they took me to the ISKCON Center in Calcutta at that time. So all travels were over. So in this way, by ending this traveling and taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, one can achieve the real destination. Otherwise, we don't have any goal. Simply traveling here and there, but we don't have any goal. We are just going here and there without any knowledge where to go. It is just like in the sometimes mist or fog. No, fog is obstructing our vision, and the cars are running here and there on the road, but they do not know where they are going. They are simply driving their car. They have no idea. They cannot see where to go. So material life is like that. We are traveling, and we are very happy to travel to that extent, but actually we do not know our destination. We do not know who we are, where from we are coming. That was a question of Sanatana Goswami to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. People tell me I'm very learned. They call me Pandit because from a Brahmin family, they call Sanatan at that time Sakar Malik. He had taken the name of the Muslim ruler, Muslim name. He was in the service, prime minister, in this manner. So Sakar Malik, he said to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people call me Pandit, but I do not know who am I, from where I'm coming, what is my destination, and so on. I have no knowledge. So please enlighten me. In this way, he surrendered to the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And according to Narottam Das Thakur, he has composed this song from Prarthana that in order to achieve the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, one should first of all take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is is a supreme spiritual master. All the spiritual masters take shelter of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda's lotus feet are very merciful. Just like we see here, one of these paintings, how the Jagai Madhai, no, they take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. In this way they are saved. Lord Chaitanya was ready to kill them because they are so sinful. But they understood, took shelter of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. In this way they were saved. So Lord Nityananda, Haridas Thakur, they were instructed by Lord Chaitanya, you go to every house and you request in every house. First of all, you pay obeisances and you request, please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But these Jagan Madhai, they had refused this kind, merciful advice. And they were not ready to surrender, not ready to chant Hare Krishna. So they were also becoming very violent against Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, and they threw a stone at Nityananda Prabhu, who became injured. In this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was called. And the end of the story is that finally they surrendered. So Nityananda Prabhu is shelter for all conditioned souls, including the more sinful, the less capable or the less qualified. Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet are so merciful. So if we want to make progress from Nityananda Prabhu, we can get the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then get the mercy of Sri Radha Madan Mohan. That is the way of progressing in our spiritual journey, try to understand the different tattvas. So in this way, the dirt accumulated is removed by taking shelter of the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is that fearfulness? Bhayam dvitiya binive satasyat. The vision of duality. Dvitiya. Dvitiya means to see a duality in the world. This is separate, everything is separate. And if anyone has any type of God consciousness, he will see also duality between God and the creation. So the creation has no shelter, we have no shelter, we are separate. And because of this, then bhayam, we are fearful. What's going to happen? Nobody is protecting us. So that fearfulness is a creation of the bodily conception of life. We do not see any unity in the creation or we do not see any relationship between the Supreme Lord and the living entity, between ourselves and the Supreme Lord Krishna. We do not have any knowledge of this. In this way, we are fearful. By taking shelter of the lotus feet, this fearfulness will go by the grace of the spiritual master. Where else can we take shelter? Just like if a thief is caught by the police, the thief will fall down and take shelter at the feet of the policeman. That is the method. He cannot surrender at the face or the arms, the belly. No, he has to surrender at the feet. So that is the process. So first of all, therefore, Lord Shiva wants to see, first of all, the lotus feet of the Lord and take shelter under the lotus feet. When Akrura was sent by Kansa to Vrindavan to invite Lord Krishna, Balaram, to Mathura to engage in a fight against the wrestlers. So this Akrura was a devotee of the Lord, but he had never seen the Lord. He was a family member, uncle, and he was living separate under the order of Kansa. So his mind was in two ways. One way is that he is in a state of fear for Kamsa. Kamsa is a very cruel ruler. Anytime if we don't obey him, he will kill us. That is the method of ruling for Kamsa. He will kill anyone. So he has given me the order to go to Vrindavan. So the other idea that Akrura developed is that meditating, that now I'm going to meet Lord Krishna. And he was thinking like this, and he was feeling ecstasy. He was thinking that for the first time, I'm going to meet Lord Krishna. And when he was going on the way to Vrindavan from Mathura, he saw the lotus footprints of Lord Krishna. And immediately he fell down. He was on the chariot. He got down from the chariot, offered obeisances to the lotus feet of the Lord. And he was so blissful. All his fear, all his material conception was completely vanished. And he offered beautiful prayers to Lord Krishna's lotus feet. He has seen the lotus feet, and he has achieved perfection, offering prayers to the lotus feet of the Lord. Different devotees of the Lord achieve perfection by different methods. Shravanam, hearing, Maharaj Parikshit, achieved perfection. Kirtanam, Sukadev Goswami, achieved perfection. In this way, different processes are there to achieve perfection. And Akrura achieved perfection by uttering prayers at the lotus feet of the Lord on his way to Vrindavan. In this way, he is remembered, and the prayers by Akrura has been described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Dasima Skanda. So this is the perfection that Lord Shiva wants us to understand and to meditate in this way at the lotus feet of the Lord. All right. Any other questions or comments? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.